Dearest mother and father, the journey has been long, but my feet have now touched ground in the Northlands. We saw what remained of a ship, abandoned in the water. A crew member explained it had likely been set upon by pirates. It had sustained some damage, and the captain gave it a wide berth. Once, the barrowman said he saw something in the distance and claimed it to be a kraken, but we never saw it up close. I imagine the docks of Stannasgard would be more majestic, and they are in their own way, though mostly they stand as evidence of great power in the region, a red dragon. I should like very much to see it, but from as far away as possible. They have deep forests of pine trees. I was eager to explore them, despite the warnings. The smell is earthy and crisp. I breathe it in deeply. This morning, I breathed in the chilly morning air so deeply I could feel it sting my lungs. While I had not yet seen any fey creatures, I sometimes feel I am being watched. My companion, Axel, says it could be any number of beings, and he is encouraging me to return to more populated areas. He found me yesterday when I stumbled upon a bear. It was huge and terrifying, but Axel arrived in time to drive it away with a good deal of noise. I asked him to accompany me on my journey, but he explained he is an outlaw, banished for another year for refusing to duel with his brother-in-law. More as I can. Your loving daughter, Inbar. Dearest mother and father, it has been a few weeks since I sent my last letter. I have since left my companion Axel in the forest and continued north to a farm in the shadows of Rikebrand. Ger, Iba, and their children work the harsh lands tirelessly and allow me to stay with them in exchange for my assistance with their crops and livestock. When travelers pass through the area, my hosts will feed them and allow them to sleep beside the fire. They ask them for news and perhaps to tell a tale or two, but otherwise expect no compensation. When I asked Iba, "Why is this?" she told me that her family's reputation is their most important possession. One evening, a small band of raiders stole some of the farm's cattle. Ger and his sons drove the men away, killing one while doing so. They recognized the dead man as the son of a carl from several miles away. They say they must settle this matter at the Thing, which seems a strange name for something that is apparently a place of judgment as well as a souk. But Ger and Iba were successful in their pretension against their neighbors. I'll be leaving the farm in a few days. I've enjoyed myself and my host's hospitality, but I have heard there are goblin halls farther north, and I am eager to see them and any other thing I can. I will write again when I am able. Until then, I am ever your daughter, Inbar. Dearest mother and father, it feels as though it has been far too long since sending my last notes to you. The last weeks have been split in Gastrofnir, a city of giants. Gastrofnir is unlike any place I have been before. I have never had to pay so much attention and step so carefully lest I end up enslaved or worse. The name Mengloth is uttered often here, though almost everyone I speak to claims never to have seen her. She is said to be an ancient giantess who can twist the fates themselves. Two warriors are in dispute about which of them slew the wolves preying on the nearby herds. They cannot come to an agreement, so a duel has been called to resolve their differences. Duels in the north are very formal and viewed as great entertainment by the common folk. The warrior who was challenged by the Holmganga fled the battle, much to the amusement of the assembled crowd who roared with laughter and hurled colorful insults at his back. Watching the Holmganga and the fleeing duelist reminded me of my former companion, Axel. Despite his status as an outlaw, I quite liked him. Feels as though so much time has passed since we parted ways. I wonder what fate the Norns have woven for him, and hope that they allow him to return to his family someday. I will leave Gastrofnir soon, and will write again when I can. Until then, I am ever your daughter, Inbar. Dearest mother and father, circumstances in Gastrofnir have become difficult to bear. New elements and settlement have made it dangerous to be anything other than a giant. I am leaving today to journey to Thrymheim, another giant community. To do so, though, I must brave a cold so vicious I cannot describe it. While making haste for Thrymheim, I continue to see sights most fantastical. It seems that in Jotunheim, the region I am in, everything is larger than life, from the deer to the wolves to a creature that looks like a fur-covered elephant. In the near distance, I see the giant men and women work the land and am reminded in many ways life is not so different from our people. When I register how much larger than humans the giants are, though, I can only wonder how such immense beings can find enough food to sustain even small settlements. I think I was only an hour or two away from perishing. I lost track of my companions when the temperance dropped suddenly with snowfall and wind so strong enough to knock me over. One of the nearby farmers saw me struggling and brought me in her home. I was suddenly struck with fright at the size of her, but relaxed when I saw her home looked like so many other homes I have seen here. In the distance, I can see the silhouette of Thrymheim. It looks like the biggest castle you can imagine set upon a giant pile of boulders. I will write you again once I find my bearings there. Until then, I am ever your daughter, Inbar. Dearest mother and father, it has been too many months since my last letter. Fear not, I am safe and well, though I made the unfortunate error of embroiling myself in conflict between two families in Glassvale, which required that I make hasty retreat before suffering the same unfortunate fate. I escaped by joining a longship crew, and oh, what a difference there was between this travel and my earlier sea voyage. I had to work on the longship, rowing us upriver and helping to bail water after a heavy storm caused a crack to form in the hull. I was also allowed to fish for food, both with a net and on a line. As you can see, I am learning so many useful skills here. I want to stay in the north longer, so I can see and learn more. I have yet to see one of the bear folk, or a goblin city, or even the primeval mountain-dwelling dragons I have heard tales of. At the same time, though, my heart misses you and my brothers so very much, and sometimes I long to return home. Until I see you again, I remain ever your daughter, Inbar. Dearest mother and father, I will not chill your loving hearts with tales of the things that I have seen in the kingdom of the wolf. No, I remain whole and uninjured. I have once again joined with other stout souls and have moved from the Bjornrike, a region of howling wolves and blood, into Bjornrike, the kingdom of the bear folk. The lands of Bjornrike are as different from the Bjornrike as the night is different from the day. The people who look like human-sized bears walk upright, possess deep courage and honor. The first thing that I noticed as we approached Bjornheim was the drone of bees housed in innumerable hives outside the city. I understand they make fierce guardians should the city suffer attack. My companions tell me honey is sacred here and used to flavor most foods. My mouth waters with anticipation. The folk of Bjornheim, with their love of family and community, make me miss home. I'm going to stay here a time, and then I am not certain. Perhaps I will search out a settlement of goblins to visit, or maybe I will return to you and tell you in person of all the sights that I have seen. My pack is stuffed with so many things to show you. I must appear to be a peddler to passer-bys. I will return to you soon. Until then, I am ever your daughter, Inbar.